Nightingale was a pioneer of public health and a founder of modern nursing. Because of Florence Nightingale, nursing is one of the most regulated and respected professions in the world. Named after her city of birth, Florence, Italy. Florence Nightingale was born on May 12, 1820 into an upper-class British family. As a woman of her time and her class, it was even unexpected that she would marry, maintain a lovely home, and be a hostess. From a very young age, Florence Nightingale was active in philanthropy, ministering to the ill and poor people in the village neighboring her family's estate. By the time she was 18 years old, it was clear to her that nursing was her calling. She believed it to be her divine purpose. When Nightingale approached her parents and told them about her ambitions to become a nurse, they were not pleased. In fact, her parents forbade her to pursue nursing. When Nightingale was 17 years old, she refused a marriage proposal from a suitable gentleman. Nightingale explained her reason for turning him down, saying that while he stimulated her intellectuality and romantically, her moral, active nature requires satisfaction and that would not find it in this life. Nightingale enrolled as a nursing student at the Lutheran Hospital of Pastor Fleiner in Kaiserwerth, Germany. In the early 1850s, Nightingale returned to London where she took a nursing job in a Middlesex hospital for ailing governesses. Her performance there so impressed her employer that Nightingale was promoted to superintendent within just a year of being hired. In October of 1853, the Crimean War broke out. The British Empire was at war against the Russian Empire for control of the Ottoman Empire. Thousands of British soldiers were sent to the Black Sea, where supplies quickly dwindled. By 1854, no fewer than 18,000 soldiers had been admitted into military hospitals. In late 1854, Nightingale received a letter from Secretary of War Sidney Herbert, asking her to recognize a corps of nurses to tend to the sick and fallen soldiers in the Crimea. Nightingale rose to her calling. She quickly assembled a team of 34 nurses from a variety of religious orders and sailed with them to the Crimea just a few days later. Although they had been warned of the horrid conditions there, nothing could have prepared Nightingale and her nurses for what they saw when they arrived at Scutari, the British-based hospital in Constantinople. The hospital sat on top of a large cesspool which contaminated the water and the hospital building itself. Patients lay in their own excrement on stretchers strewn throughout the hallways. Rodents and bags scurried past them. The most basic supplies such as bandages and soap grew increasingly scarce as the number of ill and wounded steadily increased. Even water needed to be rationed. More soldiers were dying from infection diseases like typhoid and cholera than from injuries incurred in battle. The no-nonsense Nightingale quickly set to work. She procured hundreds of scrubs, brushes, and asked the least infirm patients to scrub the side of the hospital from floor to ceiling. Nightingale herself spent every waking minute caring for the soldiers. In the evenings, she moved through the dark hallways carrying a lamp while making her rounds, ministering to patient after patient. The soldiers, who were both moved and comforted by her endless supply of compassion, took to calling her the Lady with the Lamp. Others simply called her the Angel of the Crimea. Her work reduced the hospital's death rate by 2/3. Nightingale returns to England and received the Hero's Welcome, a medal from Queen Victoria, and a gift of $250,000. She devoted the rest of her life to effecting change in medical care. In 1860, Florence Nightingale founded St. Thomas' Hospital in London, the Nightingale Training School for Nurses. She was a pioneer in the use of cutting statistical methods of her time to design hospitals and medical systems to maximize the health of the community at large. This really helped her to make her message known to the parliamentarians and government agencies who would make important decisions about hospitals and healthcare. In her later years, Nightingale was officially honored by Germany, France, Norway, and numerous prestigious British societies. She died at her London home on August 13, 1910. The fact that we have a nursing profession today is in large part thanks to the works of Florence Nightingale.